Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video, we're going to be going over my Blue Jays off-season wish list or prediction things. Now, if you notice in the title, it says part 1. It's because this is actually going to be a 5-part series where I just kind of go over what I want the Toronto Blue Jays to do this off-season. I got a whole bunch of different ideas. So yeah, we got 5, and yeah, let's go quickly over what they need to do. This is also the first video I've sat down to make about the Blue Jays since like August. I was gonna sit down, I had one ready for the wild card stuff, and then I just never got around to it. I was too busy. So yeah, here we go. The offseason needs, we need some starting pitching. We're gonna lose Ross Stripling most likely in free agency. Mitch White just cannot be thrown into a rotation in the major leagues, and honestly, Kikuchi is just better off in the bullpen. He performed way better in there than he would ever in the rotation, so I'd like to keep him there. I think this one's a pretty obvious one, and all caps, stars, maybe a big red circle around it. Bullpen. We need bullpen. For the love of God, for everything that is holy, we need bullpen. The bullpen literally ruined our playoff chance, our wild card stuff, everything. It ruined any bit of happiness Blue Jay fans had. And then I'd like another bat. Whether it's an outfield bat, which depends on kind of what happens in the offseason. I wouldn't also mind another shortstop bat kind of to protect Bichette if he ever goes down with injury. I do like Espinal at short, but I would like someone who plays there more as their primary position. I think Espinal's better off at second. So getting a proper backup shortstop would be nice. So yeah, let's go into some of our targets for the offseason. Into the starting pitching targets, I have Justin Verlander if he does in fact opt out, which it sounds like he will. And I think it's a really realistic target because they almost signed him last offseason, so it would only make sense they go for him again. They already got that inside lane with him, so very nice. Another one, if he opts out, Carlos Rodon, I'd love to see them go after him. I think he's a perfect lefty arm to throw into this rotation that lacks the lefty, a good lefty. So, yeah. Clayton Kershaw's another one. He's a free agent. He just finished his 1-year deal. He had a 2.28 ERA this year. Insane. I know he missed a few starts. I think it was 6 starts, but he's still like 33, 34. I'd like to get him on a 2-year deal, kind of see if he ends out his career there. And maybe, who knows, maybe he can figure out how to pitch in the postseason in the American League. Wild stuff. Another one I would like to see is Chris Bassett. Obviously, he was one of my targets that I wanted to if they traded for a starting pitcher last offseason. I would have liked to see a Matt Chapman, Chris Bassett combo trade. That never happened. That's okay. Next one is Tyler Anderson from the Dodgers. He's having a fantastic season, or he did have a fantastic season, and I'd love to see him come over and pitch in Toronto. There's another good lefty I like. Martin Perez from Texas is another good lefty I like. He had a career year, although he did he still worries me. I think that was kind of a more fluke year. So yeah, Sean Manaea from the Padres is another one. He's a free agent. I think he would be a perfect addition. There's another guy I wanted to see traded for when they brought in Matt Chapman. Obviously, that didn't happen, so whatever. And then re-signing Ross Stripling as well. I think that's another good one to go after, just because you already know the guy. Again, it does kind of scare me. I think it was a bit of a fluke last year, but I still like him. So yeah, that's all for my starting pitching targets. Obviously, there's more out there, but I'm just going off of realistic. I'm just going off of like who I think fits the mold of the Blue Jays the best and all that stuff, and kind of needs and everything. So yeah, like obviously there's Andrew Heaney, Jose Quintana, that type of stuff, but there wasn't really a whole bunch of talk with some of those guys with Quintana at the deadline, so that makes me think they're not that interested. And they could have just signed Andrew Heaney, which I think they tried to last year, so maybe that is realistic. So yeah, into the bullpen, I got Kenley Jansen from the Braves. Again, another dominant year. I'd love to see him in that 8th inning role right behind Romano. And then when Romano pitches one day, if you have another closing situation, you give it to Jansen. And it's just like they won't be as tired out. Like Romano was pretty exhaustive at the end of the year. That won't happen if you have 2 or 3 guys who can close out baseball games. Next up is Edwin Diaz. I think that's everyone's number 1 bullpen target. He's going to command at least $100 million if it's a 5-year deal. So he's going to be a lot of freaking money. But like one of the top closers in the game, definitely worth going after. Corey Knebel is another one I'd love to go after off of Philadelphia. Kind of one of those anchors in that bullpen, so it's pretty nice to get after. And then this one isn't confirmed that he's opting out, but it sounds like he probably will. Robert Suarez of the San Diego Padres had a fantastic year this year, still pitching because they're going into the NLCS. So yeah, I'd just love to see him kind of come over and maybe anchor some games set down in the Blue Jays bullpen. Some of our backup shortstop options, I have Aledmys Diaz, the reuniting with the Blue Jays, and then Jose Iglesias as well. One of those guys is probably going to go for a starting job. The other one probably won't be able to, so I think that's why it's, you could see it happening. Other bat options, I have Michael Brantley, a left-handed bat from Houston, Joey Gallo, left-handed bat from the Dodgers, Brandon Nimmo, left-handed bat from the Mets, Jock Peterson, left-handed bat from the, where's he on now? The Giants? Yeah, the Giants. And then Josh Bell, left-handed first bat from first base from the Padres. So yeah, players I think could be traded: Biggio, Pearson, one of Jansen, Kirk, or Marino, and then one of Lourdes Gurriel Jr. or Teoscar Hernandez. I think just because those guys have been kind of in trade rumors the last couple off seasons. Gurriel Jr. mainly in the Francisco Lindor ones, and then Teoscar Hernandez mainly in the Pablo Lopez trades. So yeah. Players to target via trade: Pablo Lopez, starting pitcher from Miami; Devin Williams, relief pitcher from Milwaukee, just because we saw Milwaukee ship off Hader. I think maybe they might start looking to ship off and rebuild. I don't know. I think it was pretty stupid, but whatever. Herman Marquez from Colorado, Andrew Chafin from Detroit, and Gregory Soto from Detroit. So yeah. Now let's go into this first offseason prediction. The next one will be in episode 2, and then so on. So I have in my prediction signing Justin Verlander to a 2-year $60, signing Carlos Rodon to a 4-year $70, signing Kenley Jansen to a 2-year $20, signing Aledmys Diaz to a 1-year $500,000, and then signing Joey Gallo to a 1-year $5 mil, not $500 mil. Oh my god. So yeah, and then trade, I have the Blue Jays trading Michael Dominguez, Anthony Kay, Raimel Tapia, and Tim Meza to Detroit for Andrew Chafin and Gregory Soto. Now I think that probably wouldn't happen, but we saw Soto kind of shit the bed near the end of the year, so they might look at it and they can get some good pieces that they can throw in there. Tim Meza and Anthony Kay can go right into that bullpen. Tapia can go into that outfield. I think it would make sense, but I doubt it would happen. So yeah, the rotation would then become Alek Manoah, Kevin Gausman, Justin Verlander, Jose Barrios, and Carlos Rodon. It's a pretty good 1 through 5. I would say probably one of the best in baseball. Into the bullpen, you would see Romano and Jansen closing out games. You'd have Bass and Soto as the setup guys. Chafin, Simber, Pop, and Kikuchi would stay in that relief pitching role. Kikuchi would obviously be that long man. So yeah. The lineup then looks at Springer to Bichette to Guerrero to Hernandez to Kirk to Chapman to Gurriel Jr. and then Joey Gallo and Whit Merrifield rounding at the bottom. Joey Gallo plays right field. Teoscar Hernandez DHs. I think that works well for him. And then on the bench you have Gabby Moreno, Santiago Espinal, Kevin Biggio, and Aledmys Diaz. Now that's a pretty solid bench. You have a couple of utility guys in there. You got a guy who can play shortstop mainly when Bichette needs an off day, or if Bichette gets hurt, God forbid. So yeah, I think that's just kind of a really good roster to roll out on opening day. I don't think Richards makes the team if they go out and make these moves. I think Zach Pop would beat him out. So yeah, for people wondering, and I think David Phelps is a free agent, so I don't think he's going to be back in this one. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel, and we'll catch you all in part 2. Peace out. Bye.